What's up, everybody? It is McManhattan, the Scene Snob here. Thank you for joining in. And remember, this is Geek Fest Live, so please feel free to join in the comments. I'm playing some more music. Let's get it done. No, I'm not playing music, but I hit the button by accident, so now I'm trying to get off of that. Stop playing things. There we go. Okay. So, guys, thank you for joining in. The reason I'm coming in impromptu, and if you guys know, we do Geek Fest Live every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Unless something comes up, we'll let you know way ahead of time. We will be doing it again this Sunday. We are also going to be doing it again on the 9th at 11 p.m. to get ready for ticket sales on The Batman, so please join in on that. But we do impromptu every time we get some news or something we feel like we need to jump in and talk about. It's get ready because we're going to start doing something. So make sure that if you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notifications button. If you are not subscribed to the channel, you're just finding us, welcome. Hit the notifications button. Hit subscribe, hit the notifications button, because we're going to pop up. Now, we did get some leaked rumors about the World War Hulk film, which we're getting to, and I also want to talk about predictions and rumors of the Boba Fett season finale, which we're excited about because, let's face facts, the last two episodes have been some of the best Star Wars in a very long time and has had virtually no Boba Fett. So, I mean, something to talk about for sure. So make sure that on this show, the Geek Fest show, join in on the comments. Actually, on any show, join in on the comments. But this show specifically, we talk about your topics, what you want to know, and things like that. I also go live when our patrons give us a topic to talk about. So I may not be right at that minute, but like if something pops up or news that they want to see talked about on Geek Fest Live, our patrons have first come, first serve to that. They'll message us, let us know, hey, listen, go do a show on this. We'd love to hear it. And we do a show because that's what we do here. Let's see who's in the comments. AJ, man, what's going on? Neither Geek News Biggie today is Dakota Johnson is as Madam Web. Yes. Did want to talk about that. I want to touch down. The thing is, there wasn't a lot of information. It was just that she was cast web project for Sony. And I am excited for that. Now, Dakota Johnson, I think, is a sleeper as an actor. She does movies that she's in. I think she's one of those ones, not to the same extent, but like Robert Pattinson will forever be tied to Edward Cullen. And people like groan and moan about, oh, he's cast in this. Like when he was cast as Batman, it was like, oh, Twilight, was he going to sparkle? They don't take into account all the other work that they've done, and I think Dakota Johnson is a good fit for Madam Web too. And a Madam Web origin story I want it. I love that Sony is now, it's like Sony has finally seen what MCU is doing. And it's like, and MCU sort of course corrected with them and was like, all right, let's do this. Let's see what we can do here. And now they're going to make a Spider-Man universe for us that's going to be awesome. We get our Tom Holland with the MCU, and we get so much more going forward. Who should Madam Web be connected to? Granted, everyone, and will be, but there has to be a main entity that she is connected to, a maker that ultimately she will be connected to. Who should that be? I personally think Tobey Maguire. If you're going to hinge on it, Tobey Maguire should be that one. And going forward, and it's like, that's the main Tobey Madam Web goes for. That's just how I feel. I do love Andrew Garfield, though. I do love Tom Holland and everybody else. And maybe we'd get more Spider-Mans too, and I'll love it. So, but there is some huge news coming out of the MCU world. Now, this has been reported on by Screen Geek, off 4chan Reddit. Supposedly it's leaks on the World War Hulk. And I'm going to read it to you, and then I'd like to speculate. So if you're just joining in, feel free to comment along. All right. As revealed, AJ, what you got for me real quick? I was thinking the same thing. This is perfect to bring Tobey back to the forefront. Yes. And he doesn't have to be at the forefront because now you have a Madam Web movie. And you can mix him in with other things. So if he kind of can engage and come back as he wants, it opens it up, but he can be the main hub, in my opinion. And I think it should be. All right. World War is in either 2024, 2025, or 2025, 2026, and will be in two parts, along with adapting some part or two. The first film will be a Hulk-centric movie with him in space finding Scar and eventually turning into world breaker. Part 2 will feature multiple MCU heroes as they decide whether to kill Hulk or to keep him alive. This will eventually be a fight between two different sides and eventually come together to kill Hulk. The heroes featured will be She-Hulk, Captain America, Monica, Doctor Strange, Thor, Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Yelena, War Machine, Songbird, Mr. Fantastic, Mrs. Marvel, Miss Marvel, my apologies, Daredevil, Cersei, and Black Knight. Some heroes will die during Hawkeye and War Machine. So that's big news. That's big news. I wish they had mentioned William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross, because let's face facts. If this is in fact the case, and we know we're getting a World War Hulk movie, but they're sort of making Civil War II movie as well mixed in, which I think is a great idea. I think this works perfectly and can really add an element to this, making this as big as an Infinity War, you know, and built in half the time, which is what you need to do. For a while, I think they're building up to Secret Wars. And the best way to build up to a Secret Wars where everybody's sort of heated with each other is to tear them with another Civil War. And we already have a Civil War II blueprint. And this sounds like a better version because now you get Hulk. We're going to kill the Hulk. You from it. I love the Hulk. Do not get me wrong. I'm not against it. It's not like I want the Hulk to die. But these are the movies. You're not going to keep Mark Ruffalo forever. Mark Ruffalo's near, if he's not in his 50s, he's nearing them. He's older. He don't want to play the Hulk for the rest. Blame him. And the character alone is add 5 years on top of that. So you can also have other Hulks come into play. I do think that if you're going to do this and you're going to make this epic of a scale, and they've been talking about Tim Roth coming back as Abomination, this would make sense. They've been talking about when you think Thunderbolts, let's face facts, who do you think of first? Big old giant red Hulk, right? Makes sense. That Thunderbolt Thunderbolt Ross, why would they put himself through that to become a Hulk, to become that red Hulk, if not to finally take out the Hulk, world breaker Hulk? That's a desperate move for him to jump in and do this. And I think this is the perfect time to do it. And you're building towards it. You're building the Thunderbolts. They did not mention U.S. Agent, which I'm sure he will be a part of it. They did not mention quite a few people, actually, that I think will play a part going forward. And I do think this is going to be oh, by the way, when I said Thor, Jane Foster Thor is who they have in mind. My issue with this is, I believe if you're going to kill the Hulk, who lays the final blow? Who is the power that finally the Hulk? I think it should be Thor. It should now not Lady Thor away. Don't take Jane Foster away. She should be a powerful force through it. But I think that going and finding Thor Odinson, as played by Chris Hemsworth, and saying, we need help. We need your strength. I think that would be an ideal way. Write both characters off, if you will. Because I'm sure, Chris Hemsworth's not going to be doing this too much longer, or even if he is, he could still survive and then come back in Secret Wars. But he's not going to be doing every movie. He's not going to be making all of the appearances. I think he's going to make his appearance in Love and Thunder, maybe an appearance in Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. Kind of doubt it, though. And then just kind of go from there. Quite literally, we're going to see... Oh, The stream is a bit choppy. Sorry, the internet's a little spotty today. We're getting some bad weather, so apologies on that. You also say that's great news. We finally see Amadeus Cho as the main Hulk. Yeah. So we'll get. I mean, there is plenty opening up to new characters, and I'm all for it. My biggest thing here would be it's time to bed, because really, what's going to ruin it more is, could you imagine if, Steve Rogers, and he is sort of, as an old man, but like everybody's speculating, oh, is he going to be back? Is he going to be this? Is he going to be that? Is he going to do this? It's like, I don't like that. I don't want the fact that Robert Downey Jr. has said, you're not going to see Iron Man again. I'm not coming back. I don't want to do it in form of a message, because why tug at the heartstrings? Like, just fine, bring Riri Williams in. We got a new Iron Man actor. Bring Lady Thor in, Jane Foster. We got a new Thor, but don't dangle in front of our eyes. Because I think that will hurt more. That's like being in the friend zone, in my opinion. And nobody wants to see that. So this makes sense to me, that this would be the next huge event. And with the multiverse going the way it is, but not just the multiverse affected right now. The multiverse, the cosmic worlds are in a frenzy. The base street level is in a frenzy. You're going to see a lot of insane things. And what better culmination to bring them all back but another civil war? And what's going to do that? Should we kill the Hulk? Obviously, Hulk isn't going to want him to be killed. I look at this list and I'm thinking, She-Hulk's not going to want him killed. Captain Marvel probably will, and she'll probably lead that show. Captain America's not going to want him to be killed. This is Sam Wilson, by the way. Captain America's not going to want him to be killed, but is probably lean towards that. Monica, probably. Doctor Strange, probably not. Thor, probably. Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, probably. That would be funny to see those two go against each other. Yelena, probably. War Machine, Spider-Man, probably, most likely not. Knowing Spider-Man. Songbird, we'll see. Mr. Fantastic, probably not. Daredevil, probably not. Cersei and Black Knight, who cares? No, I'm just kidding. Probably not. Probably Black Knight. I would hate to see War Machine and Hawkeye die, which is what they say. Both of them. But it makes sense. Makes sense as this is removing the old guard. Makes sense that this would be... I hope they don't kill off Hawkeye. Let him retire and be with his family. I don't see Hawkeye's end as having to be the one where he dies. I don't, like if you're giving Captain America, and when I say it, because I follow the not rumors, but the what people are saying pretty closely, and opinions of it is like Captain America basically left all his friends to go be with a woman he kissed once. Now, I'm not taking anything away from that. That's fine. I looked at Captain America and Peggy Carter as the great American love story, because I don't think they set it up as well as they thought they did. I thought he had more chemistry with Black Widow than he did with Peggy Carter. Now, the reason I say this, he got that life that Tony was talking about, and it was touching. It was nice. And I'm not taking anything away from that. That's fine. My point being, who deserves to have a happy ending more than Hawkeye? That's still alive, because I do believe Black Widow deserved a happy ending, but she did exactly what was required of her, and we love her for it. But Hawkeye deserves a happy ending. Hawkeye, I think, deserves to drop the bow and just say, I'm going home with my family. That's the way it's going to be. So, you see this list. I'd hate to see him die. I'd even hate to see Rhodey die, but but we'll see what happens with Armor Wars on that. But I know they're going to want to set it up for Ironheart, and it makes sense. But World War Hulk, Civil War II, it makes logical sense to go to this next, because I really truly think Secret Invasion before it, which is just going to put everyone in a frenzy, is going to create a civil war within itself, because who can you trust? Then you're going to have World War Hulk. In the first movie, he goes away and like he's planning, he's plotting, he's coming back to the war, to Earth, and he's going to up. So all of these heroes have to kind of, what do we do here? Do we kill him? Is this where we go? And yeah, I mean, I believe you do. So you get that point, and you're like, all right, this is the next logical step to get us from point A to point B. You put everybody in a frenzy, tear everybody apart, keep their movies going, have turmoil between everyone. There's no real Avengers. So then the next Avengers level movie is Secret War. Love to hear what you guys think, though. So make sure that you sound off at a later time. Please comment. I do get the comments. I'd love to come back and read them. Or you can join our Discord. Head over to the Discord channel. Go to the Snobs.com. There's a link. Or really anywhere you can find it. And then just, jump in and we'll start talking. We have a superhero channel where you can see movies and stuff like that. So I'd love to hear what you guys think on that one. So, because this is going to be sort of a short show. I'm on tonight on horror. We're going to be reviewing Fields of the Dead. It's an odd title for a movie. I haven't watched it yet, but I am looking forward to it. And we're going to be talking about the special announcement for Carolina Fear Fest, which we are representatives of this year, and we'll be there. It's a very special guest announcement. So make sure you join in, and you'll find out who the guest is going to be. And I will announce it there. It will be officially announced tomorrow by Carolina Fear Fest, but tonight is an exclusive over on Horror with Sir Sturdy. We need an MCU Hulk solo-themed movie. I agree. I don't think you're going to get one with Mark Ruffalo. I think that the first movie, like they're saying, World War Hulk, be primarily a Hulk-themed movie. But they have to make it bigger to get to that second one. Like you said, if they bring Amadeus Cho in, that's probably where you get your Hulk-themed movie. And I kind of see why they want it, too. Dealing with all that legal red tape of everything for a long time with Universal and what you could do here, how you could do it. But we'll see what happens. I would love to see what the MCU could do with just a solo Hulk movie. That would be awesome. I didn't want to kind of get into and touch down on beforehand Boba Fett. So how do we feel about this? I've heard a lot of joking about Boba Fett. The biggest cameo in yesterday's episode was by Boba Fett in a show filled with cameos, is because he was in it for a few minutes, really say anything, and it's his show. And these past two episodes have been the best episodes and some of the best Star Wars shows. And it's a Boba Fett show. What do we do here? How does this end? It's been built up so much. Is it doomed to be? Is Boba Fett doomed to be crushed under the weight of the popularity of all the other characters surrounding him? Well, it's confusing. And what are your predictions? I think She-Hulk is going to lead the World War Hulk concept. Yeah, I do too. That she will be one of the main front runners, like, because you'll see the show and we'll see how she steps into that and what happens and the relationship she has with Bruce. But I don't think she'll be one of the leaders of the teams. I don't know that she's one of the front runners for the Civil War teams. I think she'll be on the side of not killing him, but ultimately have to come around. Maybe she'll even, land a death blow. We'll see. They're good at that stuff. I'm cool with how Boba Fett is being handled. I think the finale will show still a Boba Fett show. I agree. And going forward, I think it's setting up something bigger for down the line. My biggest issue here is when, and you know this as well as I do, when you have a television show centered on a character, you can't call it Book of Boba Fett and have your main character not in 2 episodes and everybody's agreeing these are the 2 best episodes. Now, but those first 4 episodes were lackluster. There wasn't a lot of imagination and they could be boring at times. Were they bad? I think they were bad, but they don't live up to what so many other things have. And in a TV show like that on this character, if you're going to have the 2 best TV shows be episodes where the main character's not in, your other 4 episodes before that should be just as well received. Or at least well received. You can, though, books have, and I agree. And my argument isn't that you can't other characters. I'll never disagree with you on that. But if you have a book filled with 20 chapters, let's take an argument, and it's been kind of lackluster all the way up to chapter 16, and then it gets phenomenal and some of the best done, you're never going to get to chapter 16. Or is it 16? Because the rest has just been boring. Like it's been fine. It's been, we get Star Wars, we get Boba Fett. His character, Casey, I think, brought it up on one of the shows or we were having, where he's like, when he was surrounded by these characters with the shields, and this is just a nitpick. Please take this as a nitpick. That's what it is. When you're surrounded by assassins who have shields, have a jetpack on your back, there's no reason you can't get over. There's no reason you can't. It just won't happen. And, that's just a small part of overall on like some of the holes that were in those and why they proved to be lackluster. Even if you are quietly building and you're doing, he's a crime boss and he's trying to handle things differently, he's trying to do this, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But the most exciting part in those first 4 episodes was when Chrysanthemum attacks him. And that wasn't that exciting. It was good. And it was the most exciting. But then you get an episode like 5 and 6. And it's like, these are raging out of 10. And all the other ones, 3 or 4. It's like, you got to at least be at a 7. So when you get to that 5 and 6, you're like, all right, the show is everything and more. The finale is going to be good, but the finale is going to rely on a lot of cameos. The finale is going to rely a lot on these different characters and what's going on with them. And your main character should be able to carry the show, and he hasn't been. Because, let's face facts, Boba Fett wasn't even the most interesting character in the first 4 episodes. Fennec Shand, in my opinion, is way more interesting. In this show, and it's not her show. Chrysanthemum is way more interesting. And hey, I'm with you. I'd love to hear differing opinions. Please disagree, my friend. The world that Dave and are building is showing it from many different perspectives. We'll circle back to what Boba Fett is setting up on Tatooine, and I hope it does. And I think I agree with you. I think it will. I do, and I'm with it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue watching it. But my issue is those first 4 episodes. I know what they're building, but you put the focus on Boba Fett, and it shouldn't have been. Even if this was like Tales of Tatooine or something, and Boba Fett is at the center of it because he's trying to become the crime lord there. And then you can tell his tale, his flashbacks. But even his flashbacks, which I thought would be a main story, because in the first 3 episodes they sort of played it that way and then completely dropped it, and then we were caught up. And then you get to the 4th episode and you're like, one. And then you get to the 5th episode and it's like, your world building is great. And I would love for you to continue world building, but then an anthology piece that doesn't need to focus on Boba Fett, but he is at the core of it. You know, everything that's being built is built to become the boss we know he's going to be. And I just don't think they did that well doing it in the first one. And I don't blame Dave for that one. Since I blame Robert Rodriguez for that one. And I know Jon Favreau wrote a lot of them, but it's the show that comes up with the idea of the overall arc. And it should have been, I just think it should have been done better. Now I think it's ramped up. I don't think you can go back. And I hope it doesn't. So let's see what happens. Like, I think the finale is going to be fine. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be on the same level as everything else. Calling it the Book of Boba Fett is something that he himself is right. Boba Fett is still at the core, but we need the other characters to help tell the story. I agree. And they did a great job 6 and probably 7, but the first 4 were focused primarily on him. And that's where I think I have the problem, is the pacing. Maybe we should have cut that up where it's like we see what happened to Boba Fett come out, not as flashbacks. And they were focusing on Boba Fett as he's healing. And I got it, but I feel like it was too many episodes. And then in the book, I think it just, and again, I'm in. I just didn't like those first 4 episodes, but they were off pacing with everything else. It shouldn't be slow, and then gearing up, and then boom, like we are running. It should have been slow, build pace, faster. And it wasn't that. It was like slow, running. It threw me off, and it just wasn't as interesting. Maybe if they had sprinkled in like other episodes, I don't know. And this is just me speculating. At the end of the day, I'm going to watch the show and I like it. And I like your opinion on it too. The pacing was needed, helped bring the audience who aren't familiar with speed. Now, boom, ready to go. Yeah, I agree. Because now, if you're coming into Boba Fett and you don't know who this character is, from The Mandalorian, but you can't take that assumption. You can't take that assumption that somebody coming into this show knows who the Mandalorian is. You don't know the show, and it's coming, and it's slowly building, and you're trying to learn who this is. I don't think A, you have a good idea of who he is just based off of what they've shown you, and B, because I still don't fully understand what he is, or or who he is. And this is a character who's been popular over 40 years, and this blank canvas is still sitting there, and he hasn't filled it very much, in my opinion. And now going into it new, I feel like we all won't go into it new, because we don't, like, you got to take the books out that were not canon. You got to take a lot of that stuff out that we all know and love, those tales. And I'm coming into this fresh. I'm like, all right, build this world for me. Let's see what happens. And they haven't made as interesting a character. In my opinion, he is not the least interesting character in the show, but he isn't the most interesting. And I wish he was. And everyone, as far as fans go, look at this and they're like, Mandalorian's the most interesting. Oh, cool. We get Luke. Like, we get all these characters come in. Even Cobb Vanth, based on this, is Boba Fett has been on this show. Just looking at it from the show. The flashbacks help us to learn what we went through since Inception, clones to the Empire, to Return of the Jedi, straight through to the Mandalorian. No, I know. But people that it's still not very clear. Like, I know because I've watched them all. I know because I've been following. But like, again, if we're taking people who don't know this show or don't know the character, that isn't that clear. And yeah, they can go back and watch it. If you're not hooking them with what I think is not the most interesting character, probably not. Like, if I'm coming in blind and this is my first checking it out, I'm going back to check things out, but it's going to be with the Mandalorian, and Boba Fett isn't my main focus. I go forward. I think it's going to be fine. I just think it was a slow start. And you didn't do a lot for your character. You sacrificed a lot with them. So hopefully they keep it going. We'll see in the next episode. And my predictions are like he's gonna have a lot more. We'll see. We'll see for sure. I do like him. I do like the character. I like what he's doing with him. And the interest is there. Flashbacks. The flashbacks. A lot of people didn't like the flashbacks that I've been talking to. They thought they were dull and boring. I was like, nah, I don't know. I liked that. Air of, flavor to it that really helped his character that the present that wasn't giving me. So I did appreciate the flashbacks for that. And when they ended the flashbacks, I was like, I kind of dug that. Any fandom, no, we're over, be completely happy. Me personally, I enjoy seeing the content itself. I'm with you. I am. And again, I am in. And maybe there's a bias there for me, personally. And I'm sure there is, because Boba Fett in our minds for so long, whether you read the books, the comic books, or anything else, we've built Boba Fett up. I love Boba Fett. We built him up. And when he showed up on The Mandalorian, that showed this guy is amazing. This guy is exactly what I want more. And it was beautifully done, and I really loved it. It's just show the first 4 episodes, and I actually have to say the first 6 episodes because he's not in 5 or 6. He is the precipice why everyone of like going around like Mandalorian is going to go help him and things like that, but he was not the focus, and he was. I do. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. He is, in my opinion, he is not the most interesting part of the book, and I wish he was. And that's my biggest complaint. Now, do I dislike the show? No. Just like a lot of people hate The Last Jedi. I like The Last Jedi. I think the premise is a better Star Trek episode than it is a Star Wars episode, but I like it, and I liked what they did. Oh, I can appreciate Book of Boba Fett and what they're building, what they're doing, and the characters. I just wish Boba Fett was more interesting. And we'll see where it goes. And this is all setting up because I'm sure season 2 is going to be where it really comes into play. So, and it's got to be building this. I cannot see this. This is not a story that is condensed. Yeah, maybe he takes over. Maybe they destroy the and he takes over and he is in charge. But you cannot finish the story there. There was not enough build up to everything. There's got to be a season 2. There has to be more to this story. There has to be more of this book, and we'll see what happens. But I get why people like it, and I'm not shitting on it. I promise. But it is for me. It was just kind of like, it was more lackluster than I was hoping. Question is now: does the Book of Boba Fett retcon the sequel trilogies? Was Luke's first student? Well, here I don't think Grogu is going to be, because remember when he put the lightsaber down, he goes, "If you choose this, then you become my first student." I don't think he's going to choose that. I think he's going to choose the chainmail and go back to the window. I don't think Grogu's staying. He ain't becoming a Jedi. I think he's going to become a Mandalorian, and we'll see more of that in the Mandalorian season 3, but I think that's what's going to happen, leaving it open for Ben Solo to be his first student. It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and we know that Leia and Han were in Ben's life. So he sent them to train with Luke at a little bit older of an age. I'm not saying like teenage years or anything, but older than enough. We don't know how old he was in the next ones, and versus how old he was when he was sent, when he was born. Really, I mean, you can look it up. I did not, but so where Ben Solo is at this time, we don't know if he's even born yet. So it could, and trying to put forth and do that. But if Grogu doesn't choose it, they've left it open to the point to say he wasn't his first student. So I don't think he's going to be. I don't think they're going to take Grogu. It was important. I also didn't really like that, if I'm being honest. That it's an absolute, which is everything Luke really fought against. He was like, I'm not going, and I get it. Like, I get that he tried to follow sacred Jedi scrolls forever. And I thought as he got older, he should have thought of them more sacred than he does. But Luke was who he was because of his personal cause. And no, don't ever feel sorry. Please do. I love it when you're a part of this. Don't. This is great. And again, let's after the show. Let's keep going on the Discord. I'm all for it. No, and you're definitely not coming off brash. I appreciate your opinions. Thank you very much, channel. AJ, you're all good, man. Again, I like other people's opinions because I'm going to learn something from them. And differently, I'm going to go through. I want to rewatch the show now based off what you're saying to me, and seeing those first 4 episodes what you're seeing. I say, no, fuck this guy. Like, I don't do that. Like, I want to see what you're seeing. I may not, and I may still feel the same way when I rewatch it. I want to see it. I love when other people have different opinions and they kind of open it up because I want that. I want more. So I love watching Easter egg videos and prediction videos and stuff like that and theories. It may never come to fruition, but it's awesome. I will say not like Luke in this episode, and I'm sure a lot of people did, but and I loved seeing him. I didn't hate him or anything, but it seemed like he was too absolute. Like, you have to choose one way or the other. It's like, Luke, you got things, your personal connections with your friends that you still didn't give up. Like you're still cultivating. So for him to say that to his student, I was like, this isn't the Luke I wanted to see going forward. At least not even at this point. I'm not saying later he could become a little more strict. Like maybe something happened and he was like, I guess this is why I got to follow this. But at 5 years past Jedi, to say to essentially, you have to let go of everything. Like, that isn't who you are. You brought balance to the Force because you were able to use your dark side and your light side. And you were still able to choose the light side and choose the principles of that through while still cultivating your dark side. I love that. I love that that's who Luke Skywalker was. So for Luke Skywalker to sit there and be like, you have to choose this or you have to choose this or you're out. That's your absolute. And that was the prequels. Now, when I say problem, I mean, I'm glad this happened because it ultimately led to the downfall of the Jedi with their hubris. But ultimately, like, that is what caused it, was the fact that they were like, well, the Sith deals in absolutes. But they were absolute everything. They were very absolute about not being open to Anakin at all. And that's a whole other series, another show that I'm doing, where my first episode will be how I think the Jedi's created Darth Vader more than Emperor did. But that's coming. And we can continue that on Discord too. I've always continue these conversations. But for Luke to deal in the absolute like that was jarring. and it was. And just to bring it to a lighter note, my favorite, they're in a show that probably has some of the best cameos that I've ever seen that I love. My favorite cameo is R2-D2 still, hands down. I saw R2 and I'm like, yes, that's who definitely should be there to greet. And I love this. This is a little bench built. It's R2. He's the best. And he just went to sleep. He's like, I'm not talking to you anymore. I loved it. So, yeah, that's on Boba Fett. I'm very excited for and that's the thing. Like, even if was lackluster in the first 4 episodes, I'm still excited. I will still be up early to watch. But yeah, that's where I'm going with it. But I am going to get going. So I'm glad we got to talk World War Hulk. If you guys are joining, please, like I said, leave it in the comments. Head over to the Discord, thescenesnobs.com. We have links there for the Discord. All of our social media and more, like collecting or funny memes. Join us on Instagram. Follow Facebook, whatever else. Twitter, we're there. We do watch parties, stuff like that a lot. Join me on tonight at Horror with Sir Sturdy. We're going to be talking about Fields of the Dead, I think it's called. We're going to be reviewing that and have a very Carolina Fear Fest guest announcement. AJ, thank you so much for joining in today. It's always appreciated when you do, so please always feel free to share your opinion. Always from mine. Again, it's a different look, and it's always fun. That's what it's all about. So I want to thank you for joining. I want to thank you guys for anybody who's watching afterwards. Check out our show. We have a brand new episode of the Scene Snobs podcast up where we talked about, is Shakespeare really necessary in today's world, especially in movies? And also we talked about our ongoing series, which we cover the school systems of in the MCU. So please check that out. That's a lot of fun. We have great. You can check all those out on either podcast format or you can check them out here on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit subscribe. Hit that notifications button because we always have stuff coming up. This in shows like this and stuff like that. All right. Until next time, I am Mick Manhattan. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you, AJ, for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. And yeah, until next time. Stay tuned and stay geeky. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.